I was intrigued by this. This got some juice. It's got some juice. So if you have not heard by now, I assume you have. Everyone's already yapping about this, but maybe you were actually enjoying the weekend, did some Father's Day stuff, whatever that might be, and then you were kind of unplugged. So the trade, we learned that the Boston Red Sox have traded the face of the franchise. They have said bye-bye to Rafael Devers' fat ass, and they have sent him to San Francisco in a mega trade. Yes, the Giants sent back inbound to Boston. They sent right-handed pitcher Jordan Hicks, left-hander Kyle Harrison. You getting a little excited? No? Also, outfield prospect James Tibbs III. Sounds like a caller we used to have that called the show. And a minor league right-hander who we've never heard of. And in return, the Giants pick up a 28-year-old malcontent designated hitter. And the Giants are now 2 games back of the Doyers in the NL West standings. They lost 5-4 at Chavez Ravine on a toasty warm Sunday there. And Devers having a pretty good season offensively. You just look at the numbers and not look at the context of those numbers. Devers hitting .272, 15 home runs, 58 runs batted in 73 games. He also hit a solo dinger. And the Red Sox swept the Yankees at Fenway. And then the ultimate F you to Devers. We just swept the Yankees with you. We think you suck, though, so we're trading you, is what they did. And they traded him. And the trade was announced long enough after the game where they didn't have to answer any questions about it. The trade was leaked to the usual baseball scribes that are on the inner circle. That trade was leaked late in the day. Therefore, there was no way to get any immediate reaction. So let us discuss the question. How do you grade the mega trade in baseball? The Red Sox sending Rafael Devers to the Giants for a gaggle of mostly pitchers, nondescript pitchers, and one position player. So I've got my thoughts on this. I've got Van Slyke, Airlines, and 1960s pop. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make garlic fries. My advice to my friends in the Bay Area is keep Rafael Devers away from the garlic fries. Okay, he's going to enjoy them. They're delicious, and they're very bad for you. So everything in moderation, so be careful. Now, there are no real winners in this. There are, or losers for that matter. Like the Maller report card on this, after a minutes-long analysis and deliberation of the trade, the Red Sox get the D. They get the D on the Maller report card. The Giants, I'm not giving them an A for this. They got the player that we know is good, somewhat, but I'm giving them a B. So I'm going to start with Boston, the better story in the losing locker room. So we're going to start with Boston. And the argument is, well, they're allergic to keeping homegrown players. Here's a homegrown player, and he's the latest to go, just like Mookie Betts. They traded him. Xander Bogaerts went to the Padres. So, like, all these guys end up in the National League West. Like, all the old Red Sox are now in the National League West. And it's, to me, the interesting part is the confession. We had thought this was a possibility when Devers refused to change positions, and the owner of the team, the aristocrat owner, John Henry, had to fly out to Kansas City, where the Red Sox were playing the Royals, to have a powwow with the player. That was a dead giveaway. Things were not going well. That is not normal protocol for the owner of the team to travel to have a meeting with the star player, because the star player is not following the plan there. And so you had that, but it's a confession. They bet on the wrong horse. The Red Sox thought that Devers would be different, apparently, and he was supposed to be the cornerstone player and middle-of-the-order bat, homegrown guy, all those things, right? The guy they chose to build around. They didn't want to keep Mookie Betts. They didn't want to keep Xander Bogaerts. This was the guy they wanted in Boston, and now they have kicked him out, sent him over to the Logan Airport. Get the hell out of here. You're done. Goodbye. And they thought, well, we could build around him. I can't build around him. And That is your lefty bat with pop. The guy that is now, I guess, shipped off like you're returning something from you bought on Amazon. You send it there, and it ends up in a bin somewhere, and that's it. But the refusal to be flexible and the lack of hustle, that's the double whammy. It's like, well, I'm not willing to work with you, and I'm not going to hustle. Okay, not a team guy, a selfish tool bag would be Rafael Devers. He did write his ticket out of Fenway. Now, the issue is the Red Sox, because of his value being so low, because he's got a big contract, he's not a team guy, he doesn't hustle, the Red Sox couldn't get much for him. Like, they got a couple of arms, and it's really just some mystery boxes. What's in the box? It's a mystery box. Like, this guy, Jordan Hicks, has been an enigma. Remember when he came up, I believe it was the Cardinals, and he was throwing like 100 miles an hour. Everyone got all horny. Oh, man, this guy's great. And if only we can get that under control and teach him another pitch. And here we are. It's probably been 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. And Jordan Hicks is still bouncing around Major League Baseball, and he still throws hard, and he's got an ERA of 6.5. He sucks, okay? And so you got him. He's been nothing but a tease. Kyle Harrison is, at this point, until proven otherwise, just a generic. He's a young guy. I think he's in his early 20s, but he's not established, and he's not really projected to be anything more than a middle-of-the-rotation starting pitcher. And he's got numbers that aren't all that impressive, pitching in a pitcher's ballpark in San Francisco. And then they got an outfielder who's batting .245 for Eugene, which I am told is A-ball. That's pretty far away from the major leagues. And then they got a pitcher who, this rookie ball pitcher. They got a pitcher in rookie ball, which is the 13th grade, I believe. Okay, but the only reason the Red Sox don't get an F on this, they get a D, not an F, because that's not very good return on investment, is because your addition by subtraction, a Devers bad attitude, and they got all the next wave of young players. They're worried that Devers his bad habits are going to rub off on these other guys that are the next wave there. And you hear things, right? There's people that chirp around baseball about the whispers that, Devers is not a good leader. He's immature. He obviously doesn't take his conditioning very seriously, all that stuff, and then not willing to change positions and just coming across as a complete diva. Who wants that? Does anyone want that? Does it? No. He shows up to spring training looking like he's really run up the Uber Eats account when he gets to the off season there, and $300 million inflexible, and refusing to help the team out. And it reminds me of one of the great quotes of all time in my life from a player you probably don't remember unless you're old. There was a guy that played for the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cardinals named Andy Van Slyke. His kid also played in the Major League. But Andy Van Slyke had one of the great quotes when he was in Pittsburgh. And he was talking about Barry Bonds. Bonds went out to the Giants, of course, in that era. And Van Slyke said, "I'd rather lose without him," meaning Bonds, than win with him. And that appears to be the mindset of the Red Sox. Like, they just got some slop. They got some ramen noodles. They got the Marcel from Brooklyn diet for Rafael Devers. But you have to believe that they were shopping Devers to every team in baseball, and this is what they got in return. Now, page 2. Does Rafael Devers go out and push the Giants into the upper crust? Are they now a legitimate threat in the National League to the Dodgers and the Mets and those type of teams? The Giants have a good record, right? They have a good record. And so now they've added a player that we've heard of. So the way I approach this, it helps close the gap, but only by a few millimeters. The gap is closed by a few millimeters here on this. And this is a major shot in the arm, though, for that team, because it is a team that is a lot of flotsam and jetsam. And it is also a reminder that one man's junk is another man's treasure. Like, the Red Sox just gave Devers away pretty much, and the Giants are all excited and all that. And the Giants listen, San Francisco's got a good team. And I like the fact that Buster Posey, the mindset seems to be in the right place. Maybe that's just my interpretation of it. And I certainly don't like the Giants. I like the Dodgers, but That's a motley crew. They have a motley crew of a roster. And I was at the game sitting with a couple people, and these guys are two of the guys I was with from New York, and they're like, I don't know anyone on the Giants. And we were going through the line, and I said, I don't know that guy. I don't know that guy. I mean, they're a nameless team. They are a faceless, nameless team. And now they have the center of the wagon wheel. You got to have that middle of the wagon wheel, so now they have that. And Devers, in theory, is going to be that guy, and so it's a good morale booster and all that. 303 career hitter in playoff baseball for Devers, and so you figure he's going to hit. On looks can be deceiving. The Giants, I hope they paid the extra money to the airlines there, because when Devers arrives a cross-country flight there to join the Giants, he's pretty sure he violates all of the baggage policies as far as excess weight in baggage. There's a lot of extra baggage that Devers brings. All right, now, final point, and the last word on the Rafael Devers mega trade as he goes from the Red Sox to the Giants. So how will Rafael Devers handle the West Coast? Much different experience. If you've traveled, if you've been around the United States, much different experience going from playing professional sports in Boston to the West Coast in San Francisco. So it's going to be a bit of a culture shock. Different atmosphere all the way around there. Fenway Park, loud, intense. It's a pinball machine. And you go out to San Francisco, and it's like Oracle Park, I think is what they still call it. It used to be Pac-Bell Park and something else. But you go out there, majestic, beautiful views, right? I've been there a few times. McCovey Cove, the bright blue sea out there. You get the city on one side. It's wonderful. But it's all about being like a 1960s pop song from Donovan, Mellow Yellow. It's just mellow, it's laid back. It's all that. And so Devers, will he flourish in that environment? Does it matter? Is he's going to really care? I mean, it's not a hitter's park. That's the big thing here. And if you look at the comps of players that have left the Red Sox and the numbers when they're Fenway dependent, Rafael Devers across the board is a much better offensive player at Fenway Park, the pinball machine, than he is on the road. In fact, in his career at Oracle Park, he's in 083 hitter. He's only played a few games there, but he's hitting 083, small sample size. Devers, again, measurably worse. Then you got the contract. Now, it's not my money. I don't have to pay the money, so I don't really worry about that. But from a contractual perspective for the Giants, you've got a guy you've picked up who's got a bad attitude already, not a team guy, doesn't stay in shape, and you're paying him the rest of his contract through 2033, $313 million to a guy with a bad attitude who's not a team guy, who's a selfish schmuck. So that's who you're paying. So you're betting that it doesn't matter because baseball, you can be selfish and you'll still put up big numbers and all that. But it's like the old Niners coach, Mike Singletary. And it's like, you want winners. I want winners. I can't. Selfish players cannot win with them. Cannot, right? Cannot coach for them. The whole thing, that whole rant. Cannot do it. I want winners. Go on and on. I want people that want to win. And they say, well, Devers won the World Series in 2018. Well, the Red Sox were cheating in 2018 when they won the World Series, so there is that. Anyway, it is the Ben Maller Show.